Moment of silence in memory of those members of the military who have passed on.
You know, the volunteers make the township of this today. That's all I have to say. I want to thank you.
And I also want to mention that the VFW auxiliary of the VFW post in Seattle City has adopted this cemetery, and they're responsible for the roses and other plantings that you see as you come into the cemetery. And they are also the ones who purchased and gave to us all the veterans grave markers and flag holders that you see on all the graves today. They're all new. And we want to thank them for supporting us in our efforts here at the cemetery. And now I would like to introduce to you a voice from the past, Mr. Coachman.
All right.
Before I get there, so many of you standing here at Union Bethel, we're minutes before the Cape May Shore and the Delaware Bay, and it's peaceful. And for each of you, this day, Memorial Day, reminds us of family and friends, but of those that have served before us, those that have served for us. And in understanding that, that we owe them as they have paid for us. And this is why in this cemetery, for me, as a black man here in the United States, this cemetery represents a lot of my heritage, but it also represents all of your heritage, because each one of our cultures, each one of our races cross paths all the way through from the very beginning. That first sailor that came over, that first person that has served, that first person that has died, in a sense, is all part of our lives. So when I go into this, I'm just going to roll. I'll become somebody else.
Morning. My name is William Coachman, and I am a former slave. I was born actually in Middle Township, not too far from here. And at the age of 4, I was sold into slavery. The gentleman that purchased me, his name is Mr. Godfrey. He eventually sold me to a large farm owner named Mr. Hand. And Mr. Hand kept me. He got me at the age of 18, and we made a deal. And our deal was that he realized that it was not cost effective for him to keep me as a slave. So he said we will make a deal, and the deal is that I will work for another farmer for my freedom. And in working for this farmer, and some of you may know his name, or may know the family's name, Leany. So I worked for Mr. Leany, and about a few days before I was supposed to get my freedom, there was a ruckus at my door, and some gentlemen came in and stole me out of my bed right next to my wife. When they stole me out of my bed, the next thing I know, I was on a boat in the hall, tied up and gagged. Didn't know where I was, didn't know anything, just that I wasn't with my family. And at this point, I realized I was not a free man then. So, this boat took me, I don't know where, but I met a gentleman on the ship. His name was Mr. Tate. He was also a free black man. Mr. Tate said to me, I will do my best if I come back to Philadelphia to try and help you to regain your freedom. And in that time, I know my family was worried. I know there were people that were in the neighborhood that was worried, because I lived in a small black community here in Middle Township. And what had happened that I don't know about, but I find out later, is an investigation started. And several of the people enlisted the Pennsylvania Anti-Slave Society to help find me. And when they found me, or when they communicated, I should say, when they communicated, there was an investigation that started. And in this investigation, there was a gentleman by the name of Hopper, like the frog. Well, Mr. Hopper was Isaac Hopper, to be exact. He was very high up in the anti-slavery society. And in that investigation, he found out that I had been stolen at nighttime and taken to Savannah, Georgia. Now, I don't know anything about Savannah, Georgia. I'm from Cape May. Okay, I don't know anything about it. So, while I'm there, I'm scared. I end up getting sold by the captain of the boat, whose name is Court, to a man named Chilwell. And Chilwell was a big slave owner down in Georgia. Well, he paid $320 for me. But I was a free man. How could that be? That's all I said to myself was, how could that be? And so through this time period, the ship, the course is operating, and Mr. Tate is on, ends up back in Philadelphia. Mr. Tate goes over, and that's what he leaves. I the cop. And that's that whole thing rolls from there, because now they know where I am, and they filed an arrest warrant for the captain and also for Mr. Stillwell, the owner of the ship, or not Mr. Stillwell, but the owner of the ship, and also for Captain Corse. Captain Corse makes a deal, because you know how that happens, right? You know how it happens. They say, hey, look, if you tell us the truth and bring him back, we issue this bail at $1,500. And that's a lot of money back in those days. $1,500? You used to buy a lot of houses in $1,500. A lot of land. So what happens then is now Corse tells the truth. And he says, if you do not assign the bail, I will go back down to Georgia and go get him. He does. He comes back. He goes back down. But how he got here I am. They lied to the guy who had purchased it and said, we don't know where he is, but they had stolen me back upon the same ship and hid me in the same ship that they hid me in the first time. So I make it back to Cape May finally, back to my families. But you think it would be over, but it's not over. Because now, Mr. Stillwell is mad. He wants his money back. But even more, he wants his slave back. So he comes up to Philadelphia. I find out that he's coming to Philadelphia, and that he goes to Hopper's house. Hopper tells him, yeah, he's down in Cape May, but he's a free man. Said, okay. What he does, he hops a carriage from Philadelphia down to Cape May to come get me. But I find out that he's coming to get me, and what do? I get on a horse and go back to Philadelphia and hide in Hopper's house. Why? Because I knew that that was where it was safe. I knew that I would be safe there. But what happens? I end up getting arrested. I get arrested, but now here's where the proof comes in. I have all this proof. Mr. Hopper provides all this proof. One thing was, I was paying taxes here in Cape May County. In Middle Township, I was paying taxes for 2 years. That made me a citizen, because a slave can't claim taxes. The other thing is, they find out that Han has lied. When he sold me $480, I was already a year free. And so, one of these things is he saw that movie, 12 Years a Slave. It happened here too. It happened all over. That idea of being free and then being, I'll call it what it is today, kidnapped, and then taken back into slavery or taken into slavery. These things happen. But today I'm free, but also today I'm treated free because I'm with the heaven. Thank you.
The cot next to me, so we go back a lot of years. He's a great guy, man. Thank you, Clayton.